So what to do? Some paper. We'll see.
After class, signature ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ನಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು.
Good idea, sir.
No, I'm thinking since yesterday because principals are insisting to do paper on COVID only. We'll see. But treated patient. Because no one want to see ophthalmologist as a COVID positive patient. They will avoid. See. ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್
ಶೇರಿಂಗ್
ಎಲ್ಲಿ
ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ.
PPT ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು
ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸರ್
ಹಾಂ
ಈಗ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟೆ ನಾನು.
ಈಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಹಾಂ
ಹಾಂ
ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Very good afternoon to all. How are you all? All of you?
Good afternoon, sir. Fine, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, I am audible now. I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Screen.
Yes, sir.
Any connectivity problem? Screen.
No, sir.
Okay. I hope all of you with good health. Take care, take precautions. Take care of your parents. Don't be panic. Okay, take care. So, as you know, already almost a thorax region we have completed. So, as per the osteology is concerned, demonstration, I think you know thoracic vertebra, vertebral column. What are the vertebrae? Vertebra is nothing but they are irregular bone to form a column like vertebral column. So already you have studied yes, thoracic vertebra. So region wise, how they are divided? Vertebrae, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and coccygeal. Okay. Now today we will discuss about lumbar vertebra, lumbar vertebrae and brief about the vertebral column, vertebral column as it is, that is having very important clinical importance, applied aspect, vertebral column. Okay, so as per the regional anatomy you know about some about upper limb, thorax. Now as per the osteology is concerned, we'll start with the related to the abdomen is lumbar vertebra, lumbar vertebrae. Yes, so what are the general features? You know vertebrae, so there will be two sections, anterior and posterior, anterior part, anterior half and posterior half. Okay, so anteriorly mainly with the body and posteriorly with the vertebral arches, vertebral arches. So there will be a specific features between the thoracic, lumbar, cervical. So some important differences are there. Okay, you should know the differences during Viva. Okay, so we discuss only about today lumbar vertebra, lumbar vertebra. Okay, so vertebrae, they are having vertebral foramina and successive vertebrae form the vertebral canal, vertebral canal, from where the important structures are passing, vertebral canal. Okay. Now, general skeleton of the human body, which consists bone, cartilage, joints and ligaments. As you know, around 206 bones. They are again mainly divided into axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. So axial, you know, vertebral column, vertebrae are included. Axial skeleton. Okay. Now, vertebra again divided into typical and atypical. As you know, typical means having some common features. Common features. So a typical vertebra and atypical vertebra. Okay. So typical vertebra having two major parts. It is divided into mainly two parts. As I told, anterior and posterior. Anterior, that is vertebral body. Vertebral body, round, oval shape, thick body. Anterior is vertebral body and posteriorly vertebral arch. Vertebral arch, also called as a neural arch. Neural arch. So this is anterior, this is posterior. Okay. So general feature I am telling, this is the anterior end related to the mainly body. Okay. This posterior again vertebral arch. They are again divided into then having parts transverse process, spinous process, lamina and all. So these are the general features of the particular vertebra. Okay. So this is anterior superior view. See, this one is anterior. This one is anterior part of the vertebra, which is mainly includes, that is body of the vertebra. These are the pedicles. The center, you know, this hole is, that is vertebral foramina. Now after this posterior side, there will be a gap between these two processes, that is lamina. This is pedicle, this is lamina. Pedicle almost related to the body of the vertebra anteriorly. Then posteriorly is lamina. Okay. Now exact posterior, that is, this is a spinous process. Okay. There will be some difference between spinous process. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar. Okay. These are the lamina. This is pedicle. This whole thing is body of the vertebra. This one is transverse processes. Now this depression is facet. In case of cervical and in case of thoracic, so there will be difference. In case of thoracic, costal facet. Costa means rib, articulates with the rib, costal facet. Okay, these are the general features of the typical vertebra. So vertebra mainly divided into anterior, posterior. Anterior is the mainly body. Posteriorly vertebral arch, that is also called as a neural arch. Okay. Then the center one is having a different shapes, vertebral foramina. Okay. Some shape, oval shape, round shape, triangular. Okay. Some irregular, like that. So different vertebrae having different vertebral foramina, different shapes. Okay. This is the general feature of the vertebra. Okay. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now just reminder, flashback, thoracic vertebra. Just see the diagram. Already I told it is divided into anterior and posterior. This whole thing is anterior. This one is the posterior. So this is a vertebral body. This is a body. Okay. This is I am discussing about thoracic vertebra. Okay, thoracic vertebra. So important feature for this vertebra, thoracic vertebra, is superior costal facet. Costa means rib. So it articulates with the rib. That's why it is costal facet. Then in between the body and the transverse processes, there will be a pedicle. This is the pedicle. Now this is the vertebral foramina. So it is almost oval, triangular in shape, oval shape. Okay. Now the exact posterior, there will be a projection processes called as a spinous process. So in between the transverse process and spinous process, there will be a lamina. So this is spinous process. So these are two superior articular facets. Superior articular facet, which articulates with the adjacent again one more vertebra. So this is related to the costa, rib, superior costal facet. So this is body. This is the anterior part. This is the body. Okay. This one is vertebral foramina. Vertebral foramina. So this is brief reminder about the thoracic vertebra. Thoracic vertebra. During Viva examiner will ask to pick up the vertebra. You have to name them particular, and you have to identify the vertebra with proper parts and identification points between the two vertebra. What are the difference? In the last slide, I will show the differences. Okay. Okay. Now, just you know already thoracic from T1 to T12. T1 to T12. Okay. Now, I told already points about the thoracic vertebra. Just I will read once again. So it articulates with the ribs. Because of that, costal facet will be there. Okay. Then, except lower ribs, lower vertebra, T11 and T12. Yes. So the bodies of the thoracic vertebra have facet. Okay. Okay. So this articulation between the thoracic vertebra and the ribs, that is called as a vertebrocostal joint. Vertebrocostal joint. Okay. So because of this superior facet to the ribs, costal, articulates with the ribs. Articulates with the ribs. Okay. So this is brief about the thoracic vertebra. You already attended the classes about the thoracic vertebra. Okay. Now this is a super view. Once again you see the diagram. See, this is anterior body. This is the articular facet. This is the pedicle. This is the lamina. This is the transverse process. Okay. This is the spinous process. This is the spinous process. So these are the facet for rib. Articulate with the ribs. Okay. So for the thoracic vertebra, larger body. Okay, larger body, spinous process should be pointed, angled and downward. This is about thoracic vertebra. Okay, then superior articular facet faces posteriorly, and rib attachment, the costal facet on the vertebral body. This is about the thoracic vertebra. So, to identify the thoracic vertebra, you should know the articular facet, superior articular facet, that is costal facet, articulate with the rib, and spinous process should be pointed, longest, then transverse process. Okay. Okay. Now come to the proper. Next one is lumbar vertebra. Lumbar vertebra. You know, abdomen region divided into 9 quadrants. Okay, 9 quadrants. Epigastric, right iliac, left iliac. So there are 9 quadrants. So now it is related to abdomen, particular region. So these are lumbar vertebra. So we have to know about the lumbar vertebra, about the general features, typical and atypical. Yes, any problem? Some disturbance is going on, any problem? Okay, so about lumbar vertebra, you should know the general features, typical, atypical and applied anatomy. Okay. Okay. So you know already How the vertebra divided? Body and vertebral arch. Okay. So this is again anterior arch and posterior arch. Anterior mainly contains a body and one third of the pedicles. Posterior arch again pedicles, lamina and spinous processes. Okay. This is the main line of demarcation at the center. The main vertebra divided into anterior and posterior. Why I am repeating? Because this is an important practical and viva. For your oral exam, you should tell these points. Okay. Now, how many are there? Lumbar vertebra. There are 5 lumbar vertebra. So, important point for lumbar vertebra. By seeing only you can judge. It is having large body, distinct large body compared to the cervical and thoracic. The body of lumbar vertebra is large body. Then vertebral foramina is a triangular. Second point is vertebral foramina is a triangular. And important here, there will be no question of ribs are coming on either side. So costal facets are absent. Costal facets are absent. So what are the main 3 points to identify the lumbar vertebra? Important one is the body is large compared to the cervical and thoracic. Then at the center, the vertebral foramina is a triangular in shape. It is a triangular. And absent of costal facet. So there is no question of ribs here. So there will be a absent of costal facet. Okay. So these are the 3 important points to identify the lumbar vertebra. Now about lumbar vertebra. Okay. I already told it is the largest and strongest in the vertebral column. Lumbar, as you know, the body is larger. So it is a largest and strongest in the vertebral column. Okay. So next one is their processes. Transverse process and spinous process, thick and short. Compared to the cervical and thoracic, these lumbar vertebrae having processes short and thick. Sorry. Then superior articular processes which is directed medially. And spinous process, again I told it is a thick, broad and quadrangular. Projected posteriorly. So it helps for the attachment of the muscles of the back. So how to identify the lumbar vertebra? First one is body. Second one is the vertebral foramina is triangular in shape. Then third one is there will be absent of costal facet. Then one more important fourth point is processes, transverse process and spinous process, thick and broad. Because of to help support attachment of the muscles of the back. See the diagram. See this whole thing is larger body. Okay, that is vertebral body. Now this blue purple color, that is vertebral foramina, which is triangular in shape. In case of cervical and thoracic, round and oval. Now here you can recognize here. See, this is triangular. Then as I told, the processes, superior articular processes, spinous process, they are thick and short. Okay. Then the pedicle almost attached to the posterior part of the body with the transverse process. transverse process. Okay. In case of atypical lumbar, that is fifth one. So pedicle almost attached to the posterior inferior and transverse process. Okay. Okay. So total 5 lumbar vertebrae are there. 4 are typical. Fifth one is atypical. Fifth one is atypical. In case of atypical, the anterior part of the body of the lumbar vertebra is depressed. Okay. Okay. See the diagram once again. This is the body. On either side, transverse processes. The blue color is vertebral foramina, which is triangular in shape. Then these are the processes which are short and thick, superior articular processes and spinous process. Okay. Now, intervertebral disc. Inter means between the two vertebra there will be a disc. So this indicates that is this one is intervertebral disc, which is having again their clinical importance for the movement of the vertebral column. So I told once again, see the diagram. So this is the spinous process, this is the lamina, this is the transverse process, this is the pedicle. Okay. Then this is the vertebral foramen, almost triangular in shape. The whole thing is body of the lumbar vertebra. See the diagram once again, label it properly. As I told, in anatomy, study of the diagram, proper labeling is the very important. Okay, you have to understand the topic, you have to understand the subject, then only you can remember for long time. Okay. Now one more diagram is there. Here, see, this is a triangular. Okay, triangular vertebral foramina. This is the spinous process. This is a superior view. Okay, this is again see here, articular facet. Okay, articular facet. Okay. This is again two different view, lateral view also. See here, inferior articular facet. This is the spinous process. Okay, this is the spinous process. Now this is superior articular process. This is the body of the lumbar vertebra. This is the pedicle. Okay, this is the spinous process. Okay, again compared to the cervical and thoracic, it is a short and thick and quadrangular almost. Okay. I think now you are understood. You saw almost 3-4 diagrams. Yes?
Yes, sir.
You can identify now lumbar vertebra. Okay.
Yes, sir.
One more diagram. See this. This is the lateral view. Again, this is the body. This is the spinous process. Okay. This is the inferior articular facet. This is the superior articular facet. Okay. Now just once again brief about lumbar. As you know, there are total 5 lumbar vertebra. So first 4 are typical. Okay. So as you know, body, so it is larger, increase in mass from increasing order from L1 to L5. Pedicle longer and wider. Okay. Spinous process, I told it is a quadrangular, almost square shape. Then transverse process smaller than the thoracic. Vertebra. Okay. Now intervertebral foramina, it is a large and triangular in shape. Okay. And passing of important structures, nerves, spine, nerves and all. So having their own again clinical importance. So there will be a compression of the nerve. So intervertebral foramina, it is a large triangular in shape. Okay, transverse process smaller than the thoracic, spinous process horizontal and quadrangular, that is square shape. Square shape. Pedicles longer and wider, longer and wider. Okay. So main identification point is, if you face Viva, during Viva exam, you have to identify the lumbar vertebra by larger body. Okay, larger body. Okay. This slide very important. You can differentiate here again. Okay, this is the cervical. Okay, this is the cervical. This one is, second one is thoracic, then lumbar. You can differentiate by seeing the diagrams here. Okay, one more important, in case of cervical, there will be on either side foramina transversum. Okay, we'll discuss during head and neck. Now this is thoracic. You know already. Costal facet and not transverse process. Compared to the lumbar, it is long, it is a short and thick. Okay, now this is oval shape, circular oval shape. Now here vertebral foramina is triangular in shape. Compared to these two, body of the lumbar vertebra is larger. It is larger. Okay. See the diagram once again. You can compare. You can compare. So at last I will give assignment. You have to write minimum 3 difference points. Compare between the cervical, thoracic and lumbar. 3 to 5 points minimum you have to write. Make a table and with the particular heading you have to give the differences. Okay. Now next is, what is this? Vertebral column. Vertebral column. What is vertebral column? What are the vertebrae? They are nothing but they are irregular bones. Irregular bones. Okay. So irregular bones unite to form a column, a canal, a tunnel. So that is vertebral column. Vertebral column. Why it is important? Vertebral column, because of its clinical importance, movement of the vertebral column, functions of the vertebral column, and involvement of the region wise different vertebrae. Okay. So what is vertebral column? It is a complex structure. It is a complex. Why complex? Because of involvement of multiple structures like bones, nerves, vessels and all. So what is the function in here for vertebral column? It gives a protection. It gives a protection to the vital structures like spinal cord. Protection for spinal cord and other vessels. And also provide mobility. And stability of the trunk and the extremities, upper limb, lower limb and the extremities. Is it possible to, without vertebral column you can walk, you can sit, you can bend down forward? Not possible. So it is a complex structure, provides the protection also for spinal cord and other vital structures, and mainly it provides the mobility, stability of the trunk and the extremities. This is the introduction of the vertebral column with some functions. As you know, it is a column. So it is vertically, it is vertebral column like, so having curves, having their own curves. Okay, so having two curves, that is, one is thoracic and sacral. Thoracic and sacral. To retain the origin position, posteriorly convexity. Posteriorly convexity. In next slide, I will show the diagram. Okay. So these are called as a primary curvature, primary curves, primary curves, primary curves, where convexity towards the posterior, posterior. It is also called as a kyphotic curves, kyphotic curves. Now same thing, two curves related to the cervical region and lumbar region, almost reverse of the original position posteriorly. That is called as a secondary curves, secondary curves, lordotic curves. I will show the in next slide. You can understand. Okay. This is a brief again. Once again, vertebral column is composed of 33 separate bones called as known as vertebrae. I told already, irregular bones unite together to form a vertebral column, that is vertebra. Okay, so you know already 7 cervical, which is mainly related to the neck, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar. Okay, sacrum, sacral vertebra composed to form a sacrum, and the 4 fused coccygeal vertebra, coccygeal vertebra. To unite these to form a important structure called as a vertebral column. Vertebral column. See the diagram. Region wise they are divided: 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, sacrum and coccyx. Now, what are the normal curves of the vertebral column? Okay. Normal curves, 4 slight bends of the vertebral column. Okay. At the level of the cervical and lumbar, they are almost convex, bulging out. Convex. I think you are understanding my point. At the region of the cervical, particular neck and abdomen, lumbar region. So these curve of vertebral column convex, that is bulging out. Okay. Now at the level of the thoracic and sacral, concave, that is cupping in, cupping in. After seeing the diagram you can understand. Okay, there are the main 2 curves, which is convex and concave. Convex is related to the cervical and lumbar, then concave related to the thoracic and sacral. Okay. So these curves of the vertebral column increase its strength, and helps in the maintaining the balance in the upright position, Okay, act as a shock absorber. Okay. Then during walking, so it helps to protect vertebrae from the fracture. Because of these 2 curves, the prevention for the protection, and during walking, due to the movement of the vertebral column, it prevents to get fracture of the vertebra. Okay, this is the main important function. You know already this. Okay, 7, 12, 5, 1, 1. Okay. These together to form as a vertebral column. Yes. See here what I told: cervical and lumbar convex, then thoracic and see lumbar and sacral concave. So these are the normal curves which protect the vertebral column during the different moments. So in the early embryo, the vertebral column is almost C shape. See here, it is a C shape. Okay, C shape. Then prenatal, postnatal growth accounts for 4 distance regions in the adult. So as the age advances, so it will be give like S shape. S shape. Okay. So there are 3 important conditions applied anatomy related to the vertebral column: kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis. These are the nothing but abnormal curvature of the vertebral column. So patient present with the different abnormal postures. As you have seen somewhere, aged persons, kyphosis, scoliosis, lordosis. These are the nothing but abnormal curvature of the vertebral column. Abnormal curvature of the vertebral column. So individual will discuss kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis. Okay, with the diagram you can understand here. So how the normal curves? So in the fetus, anteriorly concave curve will be there. Okay. Then in the thoracic and sacral, they are called primary curvature. Primary curvature because they form early during the fetal development. And in case of cervical and lumbar, known as secondary curves. Secondary curves. Listen carefully. This is very, very important. Okay. During fetal life, whichever the first appears, that is thoracic and sacral, they are called primary curvature. Okay. Then next one is later develops cervical and lumbar, called as a secondary curves. Secondary curves. As you know, osteology, primary center, secondary center, ossification, like that. So before birth, primary; after birth, secondary. Here what happened? Early development. These are the primary curvatures. Later is secondary curves. Secondary curves because they begin to form later. Several months after the birth. Several months after the birth. So these all curves fully developed by age around 10 years. 10 years. Okay. So these are the 2 important curvatures: primary curvatures and secondary curvatures. Primary curvatures and secondary curvatures. Okay. So this is a primary curvature. Primary curvature. Now these are the 3 conditions I told, which is related to the abnormal curvature of the vertebral column. Vertebral column. Scoliosis, kyphosis and lordosis. Okay. Presence of abnormal curvature which is goes or going towards the lateral is called as a scoliosis. Scoliosis. You can make out here. See, going laterally, scoliosis. Next slide I will show. Then exaggeration of the curvatures, for example, in the thoracic region is called as a kyphosis. Particular thoracic regions, there will be exaggeration. Okay, that is called as a kyphosis. Kyphosis. Same thing which is related to the lumbar region is lordosis. Lordosis. Okay, this is a lordosis. You can make out here. This is the scoliosis. You can say it is almost a lateral curvature. Lateral curvature. Kyphosis is related to the cervical. Lordosis is related to the lumbar. Related to the lumbar. Okay. Okay. See the difference here. Secondary lordotic curvatures development. Okay. You can make out difference here. As you know, this region, how they divide. Remember the number, and again number typical and atypical. Okay. Okay. Now, as per the applied is concerned now, vertebral column or any vertebra related. So osteoporosis. Osteoporosis, most common in postmenopausal women. So weakness of the bone, osteoporosis. Defect in the again growth of the bone, weakness. So loss of endogenous estrogen leads to severe decrease in the vertebral bone density. Remember this point. Decrease in the vertebral bone density due to demineralization. Due to demineralization. Okay. Okay. So it can be treated by the supplement. Okay. Whatever the deficiency is there and any hormone imbalance, you have to replace. Okay. Then what are the movement? So cervical, thoracic, lumbar vertebra movable. Okay. Then sacrum and coccyx immovable. Sacrum and coccyx immovable. Immovable. So in between the vertebra, there will be intervertebral disc. Intervertebral disc. Okay. As you know, what are the functions of the vertebral column? I told. Once again, I will repeat. This is very important. Functions of the vertebral column. Okay. Because of vertebral column only we are walking, sitting, bending, doing some work. So it supports the head. Supports the head. I am right? Cervical vertebra. Neck region. So supporting head. First cervical, second cervical vertebra. Okay. Then helps in the maintaining and balance in the upright position. Balance in the upright position. Okay. I told already, it gives protection, enclose and protect the spinal cord and other vital structures. Spinal cord mainly. Okay. And vertebral column permits movement. Permits different movements like move forward, backward, side wave, that is side movement, and rotation. Rotation. Okay. So during walking, absorb shocks, shock absorber. Automobile, you know, shock absorber. So during walking, it helps to prevent the fracture of the particular vertebra due to the overuse and all. So it acts as a shock absorber during the walking. Okay. Then serve as a point of attachment of the ribs and particular important muscles of the back. Muscles of the back and upper lips. These are the important functions of the vertebral column. Vertebral column. Yes, just development in fetus, single concave curve, I told. Then after the 3 months, head it begins to crawl and cervical curve will be developed. Neck region. As the age advances, when the child sits up, stands and walks, the lumbar curve develops. So this diagram, you can make it out. This is a primary normal curve, C shape. Okay. Now, as the age advances during the development, see, this is cervical region, thoracic and lumbar, S shape. If there will be exaggeration in thoracic region, that is called as a kyphosis. Okay. You should remember this all names of the whatever the conditions are there: kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis. Okay. Applied anatomy, very, very important. So may ask indirectly problem based questions. So and so patients are coming with so and so disability, complaint, inability to walk, inability to bend forward. So indirectly they may ask question, problem based questions. So that's why you should know the name of the conditions and their causes involvement. Okay. I told already. So this thoracic and sacral are called as primary curves. Then lumbar, cervical is a secondary. So these are all curves fully developed at the age of 10. Okay. So important here is these three conditions mainly you can see in the old age. Okay, old age. As the age advances, however, so these secondary curves may be progressively lost. Degeneration will occur, osteoporosis, some other bone diseases. So the patient will present with these abnormal curvatures as the age advances. Okay. Now, in case of newborn, C-shaped curve will be there, that is primary curve. In case of adult, S-shaped curve, vertebral column. Okay, these secondary curves are developed after the birth. You have to remember this. Okay, see the diagram clearly, it is there. It is almost C-shape. Okay, primary. So this is almost S shape. Okay. These are the different segments. Same here, scoliosis, kyphosis, lordosis. Okay. Scoliosis, you just remember lateral bending. Okay. Lateral bending. Kyphosis, increase the thoracic curve. There will be a hump like dome above just below the neck. It because of thoracic region, it increase the curve. Then lordosis, nothing but is a back almost. Increase in the lumbar and cervical curve of the vertebral column. Okay. See this diagram again, once again. See, this is kyphosis, lordosis. Okay, lordosis. See, this is called as a kyphotic spine, almost C shape. Posteriorly there will be convex. This is a normal spine, S shape. This is the kyphosis. You can make it out differences. Okay. So what is scoliosis? It is nothing but lateral curvature, lateral side. Lateral, see, this is the normal. Okay, now this is the lateral, it is going. So patient present with this like this. Okay, during examination you can feel it here, the spine is going laterally. Vertebral column. See once again, kyphosis. See here how the patient is bent forward like this, look like this. So as the age advances, progressive degeneration will occur. Okay. So kyphosis reasons are maybe due to the developmental defect, congenital, and due to the deficiency, nutritional also, and muscular imbalance, and whenever there will be an injury, fracture to the vertebral column. These are the causes. Okay. See this diagram, picture also you see. So much severe lordosis is there related to the lumbar region. Okay. Along with the lumbar involvement, cervical also. Okay. So these two segments of the vertebral column, namely cervical and lumbar, lordotic, normally lordotics. Okay. So lordosis is nothing but inward curvature of the portion of the vertebral column. See here, clearly you can see here, this is a normal spine, vertebral column here. See, so much inward is there, lumbar region. Okay. So what is the cause? Why it happens? Maybe due to the congenital during developmental defect, idiopathic. Idiopathic means no cause. Okay, we have to rule out. So it is almost lateral curvature, lateral scoliosis. Okay, X-ray you can find out. So this X-ray showing almost severe scoliosis. Some degrees are, some stages are there. It is look like very severe. Okay, so in X-ray you can make out here. See how the vertebral column is curved. Abnormal curvature is there. So you know already with this all you can judge maybe what are the moments at the level of this vertebral column. Flexion to bend, extension to stretch out. You are getting my point? Flexion means to bend, extension to stretch out. Then again hyperextension, lateral flexion, then rotation on either side, right and left. This is a common word, I think you know, all of you. Spondylosis. Some aged person in your family, neighbors may complain some pain, radiating pain, tingling and numbness. I am having spondylosis due to the some more moments, journey and some particular professional. So spondylosis means inflammation of the disc. You see last slide, intervertebral disc is there. Okay, see you can make out here red color. So it is inflamed intervertebral disc. Because of this there will be spondylosis occurs. Okay, spondylosis occurs. So leading to irritation of the cartilage. So causing pain. So as per the region there will be spondylosis. If it is involvement of the cervical region, cervical vertebra, cervical spondylosis. In case of lumbar spondylosis. Okay, got the point? Generally the patient will tell spondylosis. So you should know what is spondylosis. It is nothing but inflammation of the particular intervertebral disc leading to irritation of the cartilage. Leads to pain. Okay. Now this is also one type of spondylosis, ankylosing any inflammatory disease of the spine due to some yes, particular HLA-B27. It is a DNA mutation. So it starts with the mainly involvement of the sacroiliac joint. Here in case of this particular condition, the spine will be straight like bamboo spine. Okay. See this diagram. Arrow mark. This is normal disc, intervertebral disc. Between the two vertebrae, this is the normal intervertebral disc. Okay. Now, next one is, it is a degenerative disc. Degeneration of the particular cartilage. Okay. Degenerative disc due to various causes. Various reasons are there. Injury, age related. Okay, due to some other pathology. Now, this is bulging disc. See, the disc is coming out between the two vertebra. This is a bulging disc. Okay. Now, what do you mean by herniated? Hernia means the whatever the normal position is there, they're losing or leaving the normal position and coming out. Herniated. So this is a herniated disc. This is the herniated disc. Now next one is thinning. Thinning, as you know, due to the compression, pressure, the whatever the intervertebral disc material is there, cartilage, it will be Due to the pressure, it is a thin. Okay, thin. Then some osteophytic formation, degenerations also there due to the some other causes, age related. Okay, these are the different involvement of the intervertebral disc. Intervertebral disc. As you know, all of you, the common complaint everywhere, everybody will complain, low backache, back pain. So these are the causes, different causes related to the again low back pain, low back pain. So this intervertebral disc play a very important role to maintain, to give strength and stability to the vertebral column, vertebral column. Okay. Now, as I told, I am giving assignment. Yes, you have to write minimum 5 differences between these 3 vertebrae. Yes, you know already thoracic, lumbar, cervical. So minimum 5 points you have to write. This is the assignment to all. Okay? Okay. Yes, you understood? Any confusion? Hello?
No, sir.
So,
Any query, any questions? Once again you revise yourself. These important, what are the different differences between these 3 vertebrae? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If anything is there, just give feedback. What are the complaints? Any queries, any doubts? Inform. Okay?
Sir, in bulged disc, sir, one doubt.
Yes.
So, in bulged discs, will there be a congestion of spinal cord?
Congestion, there will be some vessels, there will be compression of the nerve compression, that is called as a nerve compression. Due to the nerve compression, particular spinal nerves, there will be a tingling and numbness, radiating pain will be there due to the nerve compression.
Okay. So that causes pain, huh?
Yes, that causes pain because each and every nerve they are having particular area, that's called dermatomes. So there will be a tingling and numbness and radiating pain to the target area, particular medial side of the thigh, lateral side of back of the thigh, particular area will be covered.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anyone, any questions, any doubt?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, revise yourself once again today's topic.
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
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 ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ಬರಾಬರ್ ಕಾಣುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.